a lot today and we're able to do all we have set our mind to do today. All right, this is Nigeria's first radio station for women and their families. And of course, this is Women Radio. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiseri. Welcome to the program, The Big Question. Now, The Big Question program where we get to discuss and prefer solutions to issues affecting us as a nation and as citizens. The big question comes to us Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12:05 p.m. So do well to join the big question by calling us on 07000 Send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 Follow us on our Facebook pages. We're talking about f- follow us on our Facebook at WFM 91.7, and of course on Twitter too, WFM 91.7, and on Instagram still the same, WFM 91.7. And of course on YouTube too. So do what to follow us on all our social media platforms. You can log on to our website www.wfm917.com. We're also live on Facebook at WFM 91.7 and Instagram too. So you get to follow us as we get to talk about a very important issue today, because this is something that we have been talking about of recent. Now, we are looking at the effects of ongoing insecurity on women and children. I mean, Miracle just read in the news that number of children that were taken from Kuriga, the number that we all heard, from the press, it's not what the government saying, or it's not what the government has said it is. So, I mean, there's lots that needs to be done in terms of security, all right, in terms of our children going to school in safety, in terms of our women. Earlier this year, too, we had a good number of women that were kidnapped, too. So, I mean, there's a lot going on when it comes to insecurity. So, what is the effect of the ongoing insecurity on women and children is what we'll be looking at today. Mr. Ola Olua Akinremi, she's the founder of at Peculiar Queens Global Foundation, Child Protection Network, and she's a coordinator for Koshofe local government area. And she is also a US certified human rights consultant and expert on legal innovation and technology. So she's joining us today. And of course, we are to talk about the effects of ongoing insecurity on women and children in Nigeria. Good afternoon, Barrister Olaoluwa. How are you today? I hope you're good.
Yes, I'm good. Good afternoon.
It's
How are
good to
you
have you
too?
here. I'm okay. I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. It's good to have you on this program. So we're supposed to have this last week, but some things came up in the office, and we said no, we really do need to talk about this so that we understand the effects of the insecurity on women and children. So here we are today with a barrister Olaoluwa talking about insecurity, effects of ongoing insecurity on women and children. So hopefully we're able to have, we're able to deal with this, nip this in the bud as soon as possible, and we have a sound society. All right. So now, barrister, give us your thoughts, all right, on the recent happenings in the country as regards the kidnapping of children and women. That, in fact, is like this year. We just started off with it right from middle of last year up to now. We're still hearing of cases of people being kidnapped, especially women, and children too. You would wonder, so what are these little ones? What are they going to get of these little ones? And you would just sometimes you just wonder where are the hearts of people? Okay, but then sometimes we just need to be very proactive about this. But let's have your thoughts, Barrister. What are your thoughts on the recent happenings in the country as regards to the kidnapping of children and women?
Thank you. My thoughts about the recent happenings, about the kidnapping of our children and women.
Hmm.
And as we know, under the law, we categorize them as the vulnerables. They are the vulnerable ones, and they are the ones that the bandits are seeing as the soft targets to take as ransoms, for them to get ransoms for kidnapping them. So I don't know, because the problem I've seen so far is the root cause is just the bad governance.
Hmm.
We just need to call the spade a spade. We need to just say it, because if our children are no longer safe, our women are no longer safe, so who are we now governing? The children can no longer go to school, and we are talking about human development. These children, they have rights to be free from any abusive environment. They have rights to be free from fear. They have rights to human security. This is part of their development. But if our government has failed us in that area, I don't know, because it's something that is heartbreaking. I've been ruminating about it. I've been thinking about it that, and our leaders, they travel abroad. They go to schools. They have children in schools abroad. They see how things are being done. They see how security is number one. You cannot just get into a school without going through a lot of procedures, security procedures. The staffs have been well trained. Security of the staff members, the security of the children, they are always. So I don't know, how is it so difficult for all our leaders to also replicate what they are seeing outside the country in the same country where we have children? As far as the statistic is concerned, the population of our children and women is quite beyond the men. And yet we are not doing anything to secure their lives. So that is what is baffling, is baffling me. And I think it is high time we all spoke out and solutions should come speedily.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. I like the fact that I said it's high time that we all lend our voices to this collectively, so that we'll have solutions come out for this. Now, where do you think we're actually getting it wrong when it comes to protecting women and children in this country? Because to an extent, when you look at what is happening, you would think that, okay, women and children should be protected from all of this. So if any of this is happening, at least to a very large extent, we should have safe environment for our children. All right, and we know that the sole responsibility of the government is to protect lives and property. All right, so but these are the lives of children we're talking about. These are the lives of women we're talking about. So where do you think we're getting it wrong today, that has brought us to this point? We're seeing a good number of children, over 100, being kidnapped, over 100 women being kidnapped. Where do you think we've gotten it wrong?
Where I've thought that we have got it wrong is in the area of not placing values on lives, especially the lives of our children and the women. Because if you look at the nature of things, this happened some years ago, but we attributed the issue to the governance, to the government of that time. And now there's a change of government. There's a new government, and the problem still persists. We are still facing the same problem. These children, we are securing them from domestic violence, but the outside they are going to is no longer secured for them. And where we are getting it wrong is that they got as much as stakeholders. And if I'm talking about stakeholders, I'm referring to the community leaders, the religious leaders, our leaders in politics, the CSOs, the NGOs, as we are doing so much to protect, to advocate for these children, to advocate for our women, protecting them from domestic violence and all that. But we still have a problem that when we are even wanting them to face, it's no longer secured for them. And we should know the problem that is that there is a saying that when a purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. Sure. If government does not know that human security is what sustains state security, then there's still a problem. If they don't know that once it's secure security, then it will strengthen human development, then there is still a problem. Because as I read, a government, the House of Representatives, advising that security education should be included in our curriculum. Is that the solution to the problem? Enough of using wrong medication for a particular ailment. This is a problem that needs the government to wake up to the security of every citizen. Wake up to the security of our children. Wake up to the security of our women, so that every life is secured and it will enhance the governance. It will enhance their productivity. These women are the ones. It's no longer the way it was in the beginning. Only men will be outside there working to earn means or to get food or get whatever for the children. But women, we are more committed to working, getting financial stability, to helping our children. But we can no longer move from one place to another. It's a problem. So we need our government. It's not the responsibility of our children. We say children are vulnerable, women are vulnerable, but you are asking them to be the one facing the problems and the challenges and fighting for themselves, which is not, it is not right. Okay. So I think that is where we are getting it right. Our government needs to think about it. The federal government needs to wake up to this responsibility. They have to put, all the facilities, infrastructures needed. They must make our environment serene enough for our children to move from one place to another without having any fear that what will happen next, they do not know.
Okay. All right, thank you very much for that. 17 minutes after 12, right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. And of course, this is still the program, The Big Question, where we get to discuss and proffer solutions to issues affecting us as a nation. And today we are looking at the effects of ongoing insecurity on women and children in Nigeria. And I have Barrister Olaoluwa Akinremi with me this this afternoon, beg your pardon. She's the founding director at Peculiar Queens Global Foundation. Child Protection Network Coordinator for Koshofe Local Government Area. And she's also a US certified human rights consultant and expert on legal innovation and technology. All right, so do want to be a part of the program by dialing 07000 917 917. Send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 All right, those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning. Let's get your thoughts on how you think the government can better protect the lives of children and of course women too, with the ongoing insecurity that is affecting us all in the country. All right, Barrister, now let's hold on to look at how this gets to affect the well-being of women and children, in Nigeria. Because now a child be able to finish school without being kidnapped. What if something bad happens to my child in school? Now we're even trying to get to a place where we up the number of children in schools because we're still dealing with out of school children. And now we have insecurity coming in. And also, this is also telling the parents, as they don't encourage you now, make you carry your pikin go school. When you carry and go school, now they go allow and read. So at the end of the day, there's no zeal to actually push your children to school because of what is going on. Okay, and then when you look at what is happening to our women too, you get to see that this is affecting them psychologically. It has its own, effect on them. So tell us more on how you think this is affecting the well-being of women and children in Nigeria. Because more time now you go, yes, say, me, I want to leave this country. This country is just it's just too much for me. So there's a lot of all of these things could just compound on,
Thank you. About the question is very, very important because from the experience and from what we have seen so far as child advocates, as child protection advocates, as we have been trying to move our children from the of Lagos State and some other places back to school. The fear of the unknown is eating deep now. Every parent is afraid. They don't know what will happen. And like you have said, it's affecting them psychologically. And mental health, as we all know, very, very important. If a woman is not mentally stable, that woman can't do anything. Not to now talk of the children are also mentally abused. They are abused mentally because when they don't even feel like going to school any longer. In Kaduna, not only in Kaduna, it happened in the Apostolic Faith School, that children were also kidnapped. And although taking those children through such traumatic situation, we will not encourage those children to want to go back to school. And it's what they will always be thinking for the rest of their lives. They will never forget that happening. that at so point this happens to me. The same way we rescue children from rape, we rescue them from all form of molestation. This is the same way it's affecting them. When we engage them, when we counsel them, you see that it has really gotten into them. It's really affecting them mentally. And it's a lot of work. Even assessing justice, getting justice for them is not enough. We still have to go after their general well-being, their mental well-being, their physical well-being, their emotional well-being, their spiritual well-being. Very, very important. And we are saying our children, they are the future of this nation. But if we are not putting things right, if we are not putting them in the right psychological state, so how would they perform well in school? It's affecting their education as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's affecting their education. Even the teachers, many of our teachers, many people in the teaching career now, they are women. The largest population of teachers in Nigeria are women, as in many of them are women. So they will always be afraid of, getting to school today, especially the public schools, where they know, if I feel like going to school, if I don't feel like, nobody will hold me responsible for not coming. Then the future of our children, we are putting it at stake. We are jeopardizing the glorious future they have come to the world with. So these are the things that are really disturbing. They are really disturbing us, because it's not only even in the mental state, it affects every of their general well-being.
Sure.
If the place, this community is not safe for them, so where else will they go? They can't go to heaven anyway. They can't go anywhere, because this is where they belong, and they must succeed and excel as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Olaoluwa, for that. Now let's look at what the government can do better. All right, secure the lives of women and children in our country, because at the end of the day, they have a big role to play. We cannot shy away from that. They have a big role to play. In fact, they have a bigger role to play. So, what do you think the government can do to better protect the lives of women and children in our country?
Yes, what I believe the government can do, those things may look so cheap, but they are very important. We have privilege, as a person, I have privilege to have been to at least to like 3 developed countries, and we have children in schools. We know when we go on visitation, how we are allowed in, even as parents. They will check your identity. They will verify, be sure that you're a student. And first thing I will urge the government to do about this security, because it's not our responsibility to secure our lives. It is the responsibility of the government. I will continue saying that. Inclusion of security education into our curriculum is not a bad idea, it's good, but that is not the solution to the problem. Number 1, we need better perimeter security in all public schools, and even in all private schools. Where our children get to, where our women are, we need it. CCTV cameras are needed for schools. Metal detectors. Anywhere in the world, we should be able to, study the movement of any child. And the world has gone. The world has gone digital. It is realistic. All these things I'm stating, they are so realistic. We can achieve it. Only if our government are not, the money that is needed for this is not, put on on irrelevant things. Then improved training for school staff on security procedures. And when I'm talking of school staff, the gatesmen, the cleaners, before it gets to the teachers, the non-staff, then the non-academic staff and the academic staff. Very important. Then threat identification for all schools. Places that we see our women, places that we see our children, religious places. Very, very important. Then how on the emergency response, How early the government, are we all, there is no school you will get to. Let me use US as an example. You will
Yeah.
not see police cars around the school. The security officials, as in personnel,
Hmm.
hanging around, studying the movements of everyone, knowing who is entering the school and who is coming out. We can't wait till when the thing has gone so bad and we will not be working on curative, what's it called, measures,
Measures.
but prevent it before it gets to the level that and these same ransoms, not the government that will pay the ransoms for these people, the victims.
Hmm.
Then the government should have the coordinated security plan. When I mean coordinated security plan. If they don't have enough people in security agency, they should deploy more people. We can't leave Nigerian police alone to secure our children. And agents, the same way Lagos State thought about LASMA, thought about other agencies to to do security. As we, as SEO, we are working on child protection. We have a network. They also should have the network of agencies coming together, working on the security of our children. Then funding, more funding for school security program. We are talking they should include security education into the curriculum of all schools. Are they ready to fund them, fund these trainees? Are they ready to train our teachers? Are they ready to train those that are concerned? Are they ready to even train the stakeholders so that they will be the first mandated reporters? Once they suspect anything around them, they will be able to be the ones to call, and who are the agencies they are reaching out to and will respond as fast as possible. I've spoken about infrastructures, very, very important. Then community awareness. Community awareness. Start seeing it everywhere.
Okay.
On how the social media, thank God for Women Radio. You are doing powerfully well, helping us every time, bringing in our AIT, all the stations, national TVs, national televisions, radios, coming together.
Okay.
People fund your station, helping us. They should give us they should let us lend our voices.
All right.
Many of if not give us this opportunity, this money to speak our mind, who else would have given us?
All right, Barrister.
Oh, I'm sorry that is
I can
the
imagine
spirit of
because
advocate, the
yes,
activist in me is rising because it's painful. It's really
I
painful.
can imagine. Of course, one would definitely feel emotional when you think of all of these things
Yes,
that is happening in our country. So yes,
happening.
I
Yes.
definitely understand where you're coming from. All right, our time is fast spent already. But let's look at the role of the media, CSOs, NGOs, and all of these organizations in making the government to secure the lives of women and children, and of course, citizens of Nigeria, because it's more like now, if you want to travel from point A to point B, you start asking yourself, is it safe? Am I sure I can travel? What if, what if? So there's a lot of what ifs. I mean, just over the weekend, I heard of a lady who I know. She was, I think, NYC posted her to Casina, and in my mind, the first I started ringing is, how will she get to Casina? How will she get to Casina, and how is she going to spend a whole year in Casina? Casina is not bad, but the insecurity in Casina is what is making it bad. So you would begin to wonder. Okay, so a lot of things will just come to mind. So what do you think is the role of media, CSOs, NGOs, all of these organizations in making the government to actually, you know, do more when it comes to securing the lives of women, children, and citizens of Nigeria in general? In just 2 minutes, because our time is fast spent.
Okay, in just 2 minutes,
Hmm.
the role of media, CSOs, and NGOs, I can say that we have been trying our best in the aspects of NGOs, CSOs, and also the media, especially in Lagos State. But I still see the need for all those, rural areas, places that we know that, how do we get our advocacy? How do we get it across to those areas? How do we, lend our voices? How do we create awareness in those areas? What they need to know, what they need to do when we are talking about security. I think the yes, because what my own fear is, social media, they are trying their best. We are reading, we are seeing everything as everything is happening, but there are some places that they don't have lights, they can't even know what is happening. So how do we get our information across to them? So that is what we need to focus more on now.
Okay.
If Lagos is the same way Lagos is running, let's work on Kaduna, Ekiti, Ibadan. So some places that so that we can say that they are rural places, areas. Let's reach out to people there. What they need to know. Would there be a place? Oh, okay, the information from the social media, from NGOs, places, a center that they can get to and get information. They get what they get their reports, documented. They let us know what is happening, because we can't be everywhere. We can only do what is within our reach.
Okay.
So I think social media, as much as they are working, they are doing, but we still need to penetrate places. Especially, I'm still saying it, those rural areas. We need to work more on those areas, because those are their targets. They don't stay in the yes, they don't stay in a public or a socialized or civilized world, rather communities. They look for isolated areas that only few people are living there, to carry out their evil activities. So we need to just strategically work on how we can secure those areas. And I know it's a very big work. It's going to be highly challenging.
Of course.
But I know God will help us. God will help us.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. So we need to start from somewhere.
Yes, we need to start from somewhere.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you so much, Barrister. Let's have your final words, in terms of the ongoing insecurity on, women and children and the citizens as a whole. What are your final words on that? And what would you want us, even as citizens, that this affects us more? What would you want us to do better?
Yes, I want us to, what I will advise everyone, as I've spoken, bad governance, the government, they should hear our cry. Also, we ourselves, we need to be keepers, as in we should also be like what we are encourage people that, okay, keep quiet, don't close your eyes, because this thing is not affecting you. Because of that, you are keeping quiet. That will not help us. But let's all come out together, especially we women. We can fight for our children. Let's come in unity. Let's project our voices, speak to the mind, the conscience of the government, of our leaders. They should come and help us. Our children can no longer go to school. And that's the reality, especially those that can afford big schools, that can pay they can take their children to private schools. They should not think because it's not affecting them, they shouldn't join this crusade. We should all come together as women, join our hands together, and citizens too, our fathers. We need them as well to be behind us and face this battle and get the victory that is required. Because the lives of our children, even the lives of our women, too, both lives are very important. So we cannot just keep quiet, fold our arms, and let it get into us or get deeper than this. So we need to rise to our responsibility. Let me sound spiritual a bit. We need to rise like Deborahs of this time, women, and fight for our rights. Nothing do us. We will not die.
Nothing do us. So, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Barrister, for being a part of our program today.
You're welcome.
Yes. Still have a great week ahead. Thank you.
And you too. And you too. Thanks for having me. And God bless you. And Women Radio.
Amen. Thank you so much. All right, so that's the voice of barrister Ola Oluwa Akinremi. All right, she's the founding director at Peculiar Queens Global Foundation. She's a child protection network coordinator for Koshofe local government area. She's a US certified human rights consultant and expert on legal innovation and technology. All right, so there you have it on effects of ongoing insecurity on women and children in Nigeria. We'll have a part to play. The government has a bigger role to play, but we also have a part to play to come together and unite and fight for our safety too. All right, so that's where we'll draw the curtains for today on the program. The big question for today. Join us again on Wednesday, where we'll bring you the big question at 12:05 p.m. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. Do well to keep your dial locked right here on Women Radio WFM 91.7. Good afternoon.
To sponsor this program, call the number 0816 480 7613.
Josephine Ugu, a woman of integrity, an icon of honesty. Born on Christmas Day of 1978 in Nsukka, Nigeria, orphaned as a child, Josephine moved to Lagos, Africa's megacity for greener pastures, and got a cleaning job at Murtala Mohammed International Airport on a meager salary of 7,800 naira monthly. Despite the economic hardships, struggling through poverty to survive, Josephine displayed the highest level of integrity on 5 occasions when she returned over 25 million naira and over 15,000 US dollars found at Lagos Airport while on duty. An icon of honesty, a woman of integrity, incorruptible. We present to you Josephine Njideka Ugu, an iconic woman of our time. This is an initiative of St. Ives Communications, Women Radio, Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation, supported by the MacArthur Foundation.
otu ụmụ nwaanyị Igbo mgbasa ozi Women Radio Membership n'olu bekee na-ejikọ gị na ụmụ nwaanyị azụmahịa ndị ọzọ